Governor Cuomo refusing to resign. The New York State Assembly Judiciary Committee is set to meet Monday about a possible impeachment. And now, according to an Associated Press count, more than half of the state assembly members say they would vote to impeach, sending a trial to the state Senate. So I spoke with Senate Majority Leader Andrea Stewart-Cousins and asked her if she is coordinating the process with Assembly Speaker Carl Heastie.
We will speak. He needed, obviously, to talk with his conference, which he did yesterday, and it sounds as though they are ready to move forward with drafting the articles of impeachment. I know that his committee, the Judiciary Committee, will be meeting on Monday, and that conversation will begin to unfold. So, you know, I knew he had his internal work to do, and I'm sure we will be talking in the next few days.
So how quickly do you think this will go? I realize, like, the legislature hasn't done something like this in 100 years.
Yes.
So it's kind of brand new.
Right, and frankly, again, I'm hoping that we won't actually have to do it. You're right, it was 1913, the last time that anything like this was done. And, you know, I and so many of people all over are saying to the governor, please resign, because then we really don't have to go through the trial and the expense, et cetera, to you know, get through this. But that being said, should we have to do this impeachment? Other people have asked us, when it gets to the Senate, what happens to us? So we have a minimum of 30 days before we can start anything. So once they do what they are doing, then we have between 30 to 60 days to you know, get this trial done. We would be jurors. We would listen to the case. And again, I'm not predicting what the outcome of the case would be, but I know as of right now, because of the severity of the allegations, because of the corroboration of these women's claims, and like I said, one would have been too many. 11 is really, you know, it's just outrageous to think of what these women had gone through, and I must applaud them for their courage. But pretty much, we will listen to the case.
So have you gotten any indication that the governor would like to work out a deal and resign?
Well, again, I haven't spoken to him, so I have not gotten any indication.
And would you be open to working out a deal so he would resign?
You know, I've called on him to resign because of the really terrible nature of not only the allegations, but the corroboration. These women's claims were independently investigated. They were corroborated in many, many ways. And so the fact is that, you know, I believe, and, you know, so many people are calling for the governor to resign. And, you know, this way we won't do the impeachment. So I don't know what kind of a quote unquote deal would be, but I do believe that we are here because New Yorkers sent us here to pay attention to them. And so the sooner we can, you know, really keep our entire focus on that, I think the better we will all be.
So, Madam Leader, I know that this, if it gets to the state Senate, you have to do a jury, an investigation. Right. How can you do due process if you have an opinion already and Senator Gennaro is already getting people to hop on board an impeachment? Where does due process fit in?
Well, first of all, I don't know that is, I mean, many of my members early on, just as I did, had called because of, again, the severity of the allegations and the broad spectrum of allegations when it started back in March. That's why I had suggested he resign, because there was just a lot of things that he needed to pay attention to, and I believe that it would be a distraction. So here we are, and I think people are forming their opinion based on what we said would be helpful in forming our opinion. and that's the Attorney General's report. And the Attorney General's report was extremely unacceptable and outrageous in so many ways. So right now, at least 38 of my members have called for his resignation. And, you know, I mean, and that's not, I'm not even, I haven't canvassed the Republicans.
The governor, as of this point, has been very defiant in his innocence. And he claims that these allegations are misunderstood, that this is generational or cultural differences. What do you think about that?
We passed sexual harassment laws that the governor has championed. And the governor, you know, when it came to his desk sign, he knows the difference between affectionate hellos and harassment.
Was there one part of the investigative report yesterday that really took your breath away?
Well, I think, you know, some of the allegations we had heard, I know that there have been interviews and different stories that we had heard. But I think the trooper story was a new allegation that we had not heard, and it was extremely well corroborated. And it clearly, you know, put this woman who was on the detail to protect the governor in a terrible situation.
Do you think that Governor Cuomo can continue to govern?
I believe that the focus needs to be on the work that people sent us to do. And that is why, again, I continue to hope that in the best interest of the state, because that really is what we are talking about here, in addition to obviously the women who have gone through this, but certainly the best interest of the state, we should be able to move on as a state and focus on what people sent us here to do.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be on Good Day New York. We really, really appreciate it.
I thank you. It's really nice to see you.
So spoke with her about a half hour yesterday.
Yeah.
And she was adamant. I mean, she's not changing in any way her mind about that Andrew Cuomo must go, and he must go now.
Yeah, and she said it back in March, so obviously she hasn't changed her feelings on that. See how things play out.